So my name is Kenzie Rafael.
Hi, my name is Zura.
I am Peter Greenwood. Hello, I'm Bao Bao. Sure, I am at King 25A.
My name is Anthony Bailey. Hi, I'm LowOnSodium.
Hello, my name is Frans.
All right, so he's not new to me, but he's new to the channel. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Kenzie Rafael. I go by Aries CFB on Twitter.
How did you do today, and what deck did you bring?
I brought Levidrass with me, but didn't really do well. I got X2, but it's the matchup was good. More just variance, pretty much. Yeah, unfortunately.
Gotcha. And throughout the whole day, what match stood out the most to you?
Lucia. That Lucia fell because I lost that match. It was round 5. Yeah, I was 4-1, running it's pretty good, And then Lucia fell, I lost dice roll, which is fine, it sucks. And then I damaged 3 OG Levidrass, the entire game. So it sucks, but the deck's the game's going well. But I just cannot divine skill. Obviously it sucks. I only saw 1 PG the entire game, and then I got crit blank on Otis. So
that's always rough, especially. Yeah. All right, and then for the fun question that we always ask at every BCS, this time it is going to be, what is your Vanguard hot take? And feel free to elaborate on it.
Vanguard hot take is Levidrass is a fair and balanced deck.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything you want to back up that claim, or just be
I'm X2.
Now that's actually valid if you think about it, because we had over 450 participants today in Toronto. And what do you call it? The fact, it's a joke in the community, but it's kind of true. Levidrass is the best deck in format.
There's quite a lot of Levidrass in top table, but I think bad is more toxic.
Bad is definitely toxic. Yeah. What do you call it? And the fact that they just gave it a new promo, it's all right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to interview with me. What do you call it? It's nice to finally meet you in person. I think we might have known it, Sally. How are you in passing?
We just talked a bit.
Yeah. But thank you so much.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, not a problem. What do you call it? All right, we'll see you guys in the next interview. And coming just off of Deck Check, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Zura, and I finished 25th today. Standard.
First off, I want to say congratulations. And what deck did you bring today?
Played Reziel.
What do you call it? Anything? Is it hostage Reziel, or just full on gonna smash your face into Reziel?
It's the list that doesn't play the Wisdom package.
Gotcha. Overall, how'd you feel about your performance today?
Pretty good. My one loss, I couldn't do much about it. My double loss, I would have won if we had more time.
It's always rough, especially with the double loss rulings. Any matches today that stood out to you?
I stacked the shit on my opponent in the first round, if that's anything.
I mean, that obviously set the tone for the whole day for you, so you're right in top cut now. And then, finally, for the last question, what is your Vanguard hot take?
My Vanguard hot take? I don't know if it's a hot take, but fuck that. That needs to be deleted from the game.
Honestly, full send, full agree. Thank you for taking time out of your day to interview with me. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. All right, and coming off of the Swiss rounds, would you like to introduce yourself on what you finished in Swiss?
I am Peter Greenwood. I finished 21st, and also this is my first ever BCS, so I feel pretty proud of how well I did.
Hell yeah, congratulations. That's quite an accomplishment, especially since it's your first BCS. What deck were you running today?
I was personally running Crest Rose. I've played with Rose pretty much since I started Premium, and it's just kind of stuck with me.
Over the course of the day, since it's been a long day, has any game stuck out to you that sticks out in your mind?
I would say it was probably the mirror match, and it just because it was literally down to the wire. I had not hit Crest and they had hit Crest, but I was able to maneuver my resources enough to get to 35 cards and drop for Bartholomew, so it forced them to have to take the Vanguard swing, and I luckily hit double crit and it won me the game.
Hell yeah. And then, so at every BCS, I always try to ask an interesting question that's food for thought. So Toronto's question is, what is your Vanguard hot take?
I would say my hot take is Gridora should have been hit to 1.
Hit to 1? And would you like to elaborate on that?
Just because hitting it to 2 still makes it so that for 2 turns straight, you can't do anything. Whereas if you hit it to 1, it's still annoying and it forces your opponent to have to do something, but only having to deal with it for 1 turn allows for you to still view your deck mechanics for the most part and still have the identity of Mega Colony.
Gotcha. Well said. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk with me. And congratulations on your performance today, especially for your first BCS.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You as well.
Now, while the decks are being checked, I'm checking in with the players. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Bao Bao from Waterloo. My real name is Bowen, but I had a lot of fun today.
And what deck did you play today?
I played non-crest Scramblue.
And how did you feel about your performance today?
Honestly, I'm really happy that I managed to actually win some of these matches. It was really shaky trying to find the pieces, but we managed to get there in the end.
And it's been a long day. I'll give you a minute to organize your thoughts, but what match today stood out to you the most?
Oh, 100%. So there's actually two matches. The first match was definitely the Vanquisher match. Shout out to my opponent playing Vanquisher. It almost closered me. Man went GB8 and bound 28 of my cards. And I managed to keep the Ghost Spell in my hand, or Sleeve Tugging Bell, sorry, to unbind everything so I could actually go for lethal. That was really, really scary. Also, I played Stephen Lee in round 6. Please never again. I don't want to fight him for the third time.
I take it, what do you got? It's a fun matchup, but you don't like when you see it in bracket?
It's funny when we like get paired up, but it's so stressful, and I'm just playing to whatever I can to try to win the game.
So I always ask a question with everybody. A food for thought question is the best way to phrase it. What is your Vanguard hot take?
Oh, ban Granblue. Simple. No, I've been saying this since like 2 years ago. Granblue needs to be banned, not the crest. Crest blue is fine. Just ban the entirety of the clan, and we're all A-okay.
Okay. Thank you. Take time out of your day to, and what do you call it? Thank you so much.
All right, no, thank you so much.
Have a good one. All right, and on to the next interview. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I am at King 25A on Bushiroad or as Stefan, and you can catch me at Just Giving Up.
Yeah. What did you finish after Swiss?
I finished X2. I was the one that bubbled in at 16.
Hell yeah. We love that. And what deck were you playing today?
I was playing Mythiarch Bugs.
Mythiarch Bugs.
Mythiarch Bugs. So like, it's a Ghidorah at Mythiarch.
Ah, gotcha. How's the typical lines go for that? Because that's the first time I'm hearing about this, to be honest.
So Mythiarch Bugs runs Gizeh deck. So you have Megiddo, so you'll be able to run Megiddo. Hopefully the line is usually you Ghidorah twice, and then you have enough Counterblast to go into Megiddo. You have enough of the Delphinas in drop. Megiddo on is Counterblast 2, call 5, place, right? And so you it's 10 swings after that, because the Delphinas will stand after Vanguard swings. And then you'll hopefully have an antlion or something in the back row to switch to on the last kill 10.
Gotcha. All right, and overall, how do you feel about your performance today?
It was very good. I built my deck for meta, and I hit meta until the last 2 games. So it was a team kill in my 6th match against OTT. He said that I shouldn't worry about him. I had to worry about him, so I didn't really know what his deck did, so that was lost. And then Narukami was able to superior ride grade 3. So when I was on grade 1, he was on grade 3 already. So then I got crit a lot, so that hurt. But those are my 2 losses.
It always does. And now, what is your Vanguard hot take?
I really like the game. I think it's fine, but I'm also a Ghidorah player. Unban the 2 Ghidorahs, give my Ghidorahs back. I know that it's awful for the game, but fuck everyone else.
You guys can't see this behind the camera, but the cameraman behind's like, bro, that's bull. No, we don't need Ghidorah in the game. But I guess you can say that's not just a hot take, that's a scorching take. Right. And one more time, what was your YouTube channel?
Just Giving Up.
Just Giving Up?
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully I can remember that in when I'm doing this in post. But what do you call? Make sure to comment down, and I'll be sure to add it into the description.
Awesome.
Thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to interview with me. Would you like to introduce yourself and what position you placed?
My name is Anthony Bailey. The username on Bushinami is Ballet. I played Glendios and went top 16 today. I unfortunately lost on first round of top 16, but my overall score was top 7 after Swiss. I went X1 with it, and that's like my 8-9 top overall in general.
First off, congratulations, especially since you have to do 7 rounds. It's a long day of Vanguard, and the fact that you did with an X1 record, that's truly amazing. So first off, congratulations about that. That answers the next question of what deck were you playing? Overall, how did you feel about your performance?
Pretty amazing, considering that I was coming here with the expectation of doing like X6.
All right, and throughout the entire day, including Top Cut, were there any matches that stood out to you?
For the Swiss cut, unfortunately, not really going through. Like, I saw some spice stick towards me and some space here and there, but unfortunately, pretty much went against stuff like Harry, Nitro's Crest, and the general stuff, which I was really expecting with the deck build I went to it. But that was more like I saw like a really spicy Riviera build that like killed on turn 3 against a grade 2 player.
That's wild. And what do you call it? I was watching a bit of your match, but I didn't catch the ending. How did the match end?
On my top cut, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, at some point, we were both at the same amount of cards in deck, but I would draw first and then in second. So he was playing Gradora, and he had the classic mod that brings grade 3 back to the deck. So he could not really deck out normally, even though I was locking stuff. The thing is he damage checked all my counter charges were damage checked, so I did not add any more counter charges coming. And the last zirconium I could use to exchange a position of who will deck out first was damage check as well. So I had to, and the only thing remaining in my decks were 2 draw triggers, 2 Glendios, and a Ditto Deleter. So I was like, all right, so there's literally nothing I can pull off in that situation. So I just decided to end myself and swing forward with it.
Don't give them the satisfaction.
No, I decided to take out myself instead.
Nice. All right. And so I've been asking all the other BCSs that I've attended when I've been doing interviews the food for thought question. So Toronto's is, what is your Vanguard hot take?
My Vanguard hot take. Oh shit, that's a hard one, man.
Feel free to take a second.
A hot take of Vanguard. I'd say that V wasn't that bad in general. It was rough, but if they would have started with the V collection part where it was actually kind of fun, and they just went toward with that would have been kind of fun. But yeah, I think V could have been a better place if they did something better. Because I mean, no overtrigger, man. The overtrigger is still my bane to this thing. I lost so many top cuts because of that. Like in Philadelphia, professional size.
Yeah. Oh, you were at Philadelphia?
Yes, I was.
Oh, what did you do in Philadelphia?
At top 32, I finished 33rd. And I got, did not win. I was playing Jewel. I got killed by a Shoujo DG that healed 3 times on 6. Well, he over-triggered me on the next turn afterwards. And I was missing 5 shield overall because of the OT going on, not once per turn Shoujo DG. And I kind of had to deal with it and died.
Gotcha. Well, I want to say thank you so much for taking time out to be interviewed. And what do you call it? I wish you best of luck. I don't know if you're heading to any other BCSs.
Not for the rest of the season because I already went to 2 and life is kind of backed up sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
I understand. Well, once again, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great night. And congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. And we have a very special interview here. Would you like to introduce yourself and what you placed at the end of Swiss?
Hi, I'm LowOnSodium. Pardon me, I lost my voice, so I'm so sorry. At the end of Top Cut, I placed first. It was honestly 7th round was like pretty much for fun, so like it didn't really matter at that point. Yeah.
First off, congratulations! It's a tremendous accomplishment to finish first overall in Swiss. And then overall, what did you play today?
Oracle Think Tank.
Think Tank. Anything spicy in there that you feel comfortable sharing?
History collection. That was the saving grace. Literally. GB2, 2 and 3, it's 7.
Excellent. And overall, even though I think we already know this answer, how did you feel about your performance today?
It was pretty good. I think I had a lot of favorable matchups, so like it was pretty much a lot of like luck of the draw on that one. Yeah, there were a couple moments where I got really spooked, which was like a little concerning, but you know, managed to pull through, which is nice.
Nice. And since it's been a long day, and I know you're tired, but was there any matches today that stood out in your mind?
Oh, 6th round. I faced against my friend. He was playing Mega Colony. So post-hit Mega Colony, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of sick. But like on my kill turn, I hit a heal trigger, so I healed. And he hit a heal trigger, and he healed. And so I was like, oh my god, no, this is not going to happen. But thankfully he was at a low enough power where I could swing with Popo and it still dealt a guaranteed damage. And that was like, that decided it, which was nice.
And what is your Vanguard hot take?
I think OG Kerf can become starter again. Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that a tiny bit?
It's like, considering at the speed that like a lot of decks go at and the consistency that like certain decks can perform at, I think the Kerf high roll is okay as long as Wonder Ezel is like still hit, because you can't just randomly explode out of nowhere turn 2, turn 3 and gain like 5 Excel markers, but you can still like ride skip turn 2 and like attempt to strive like Gen 3, which is not too bad. Dude.
Gotcha. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, and once again, congratulations. Thank you for taking time out to do this interview. What do you call it? Best of luck in Top Cut.
Surviving.
Objective, survive.
Yeah, literally. I'm here, I don't know.
Have a good one.
Thank you. So we tried to troubleshoot this off camera, but you know I'm the king of stuff, guys. But I'm not the main topic for this interview. We are able to do this because I don't see this too often. So I was able to get a judge interview for BCS Toronto. That's why this video took a little longer to get out, because you know schedules had to be worked out. But I wanted to make sure we had time to talk and get our due diligence. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Frans, also known as Rene in the local community. I've been playing Vanguard since 2013, and my main deck is usually Mega Colony, but for standard, I'm pretty much all over the place.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So first, I want to take time to say thank you so much for interviewing with me. I'm trying to expand horizons and get new perspectives out into the world, and I figure, what's better than a judge? So I will have to pull back the curtain a little bit. We did have these questions vetted. So what do you call it? Make sure everything's all kosher. So these are questions that were approved, but let me extremely stress this point out. The answers given here do not reflect Bushiroad or Bushiroad's stances on certain things. This is their own view on things and their own takes. So I just want to make that explicitly clear before we continue this. So the first one is, how long have you been a judge, and what initially got you into judging Vanguard?
I just want to give some context. I started Vanguard 2013 playing Death Warden at Lion. During that time, we actually held a tournament in our school. I was still in high school back then, and we held a fundraiser for an event. 20 plus people attended. The event was successful, and at that point I realized I enjoyed watching people play from the side, more so than competing myself. Just some pretext, before everyone was called a judge for Bushiroad, they all started as staffers. So I got hired as staff for BCS 2017. So I staffed at 2017, 2018, Springfest, and Championship Series. I didn't go on to 2019, so I went 2020, then we had COVID, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now 2025. So I've been staffing for 7 years, and I've been a judge for 3 years.
So
And I'm professional level.
So first off, I want to take time to also say to you, thank you so much, because without judges like you, we won't be able to get these big events off the ground and have a nice, competitive, but also fair and fun atmosphere. So I want to say thank you for that.
No problem. Appreciate the thing.
Yeah.
No problem.
Question, what's the farthest event you've traveled to, or do you wish you were going to an event to judge for?
No problem. So this year actually is my first time traveling out of Ontario, going to an event. My friend invited me to go to BCS Vancouver back in January 2 and 3, I believe, or no, 4 and 5. I participated in El Glema. Unfortunately, the die roll wasn't there. It wasn't supportive of me. My first round were just bricks, not even 3 orders. Second round is also bricking. I didn't see Jumbo's Crusher. And then in the third round, I didn't have enough orders, so I only got to pull off El Glema's skill with Jumbo's Crusher once on turn 3. But the rest of it, I enjoyed my stay at Vancouver. I visited a lot of places. Granted, we had to take Uber all over the place, so it was kind of expensive. We had to walk through Chinatown, which is a bit of a sketchy area, but it is what it is. And we visited Treasure Chest Games, not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
They had a good selection on their materials, on their supplies, and also a good selection in cards. But I learned a lesson that it would be better if I'm traveling with a friend to rent a car.
Yeah.
In terms of events that I wanted to go to either judge or staff, there's actually one event that I wanted to go to back in 2019, and it was Anime Expo 2019 when Bushiroad was holding one of their events there. I wanted to go there because they held Roselia concert that time, and I was a pretty big, I don't want to say I was a big Bang Dream fan, but I was a big Roselia fan. I like their songs, I like how upbeat they are, their rock, metal composition, and also Ai is a good singer.
touching back on the renting the car, we learned that lesson the hard way for Toronto with me and my friends and locals that went up because we rented a car. And for some reason, we crushed the drive up to Toronto in like 7.5 hours.
Wait, where did you guys stay?
We stayed at an Airbnb that was about 20 minutes into the venue. The closest LGS we had was like 10-minute drive, and it was
A drive check.
3 gaming. Is that what it was?
401 games.
401 games. And what do you call it? But we all stayed in like a decent sized Airbnb because there was 6 of us that traveled together. But for some reason, driving home back to the States took us 10 hours to get back. Like,
Yeah.
it was like weird. Like maybe we thought we were just hyped for the event and then the time just flew. But then coming back, we're just like, all right, now we have to go back to work.
Drive back is just, it gets to you.
Yeah. All right. Next question would be, without revealing personal details, what is the most unexpected or chaotic judge call you ever had to receive?
So this was the one that had to be a bit, where I have to be a bit more obscure about it. But I just want to give some context, some preface for a lot of people. A lot of the rulings are covered under the comprehensive rules, and that gets updated a lot. I think what makes judging challenging for everyone on the floor is actually floor rules. And there is some ambiguity. I know they've toughened up on things that's going from level 2 to level 3, some warnings to they've upgraded some warnings to just straight up game losses. But sometimes there are things like reversible game states where you have to shuffle a deck and you give the ruling, and the guy who called for a judge is expecting, hey, it's gonna turn towards my favor because, you know, I'm kind of implies that they're the better player because the other guy misplays. But, you know, we're all human, we make mistakes and all that. But sometimes when a ruling is made like that and they shuffle the deck and things like trigger checks and damage checks happen, sometimes you see things where it kind of doesn't favor them. Like, for example, an attack where it forces you to soul charge is declared and the player forgot to soul charge, right? The opponent calls for a judge call saying, hey, this guy wants to replay. The judge says, sure, it's a replay, it's because it's supposed to be a mandatory effect. They soul charge whatever they drove check. So they proceed to perform a drive check after everything was approved by the judge, right? And then, you know, it turns into a crit, or maybe it turns to an over trigger, and all of a sudden the guy who called for a judge is like, I just want help. I'm supposed to be on top of this.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
But then at the same time, it kind of crushes you, right? Because it's like, hey, we made the call, but at some point it's supposed to be for your benefit that you made the call. You give the guy a warning, but unfortunately, that's not how Vanguard goes.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. And we tied together that one question that we talked about before. And I guess this one also technically counts, but we'll ask it anyway to just get some further details. What motivates you to judge an event instead of competing in said event?
So, touching up to question number 1, back when I did the fundraiser, that's when I realized that I really like watching people play games. I enjoyed the back and forth between the 2 players, getting 2 passes with 2 critical triggers, and all of a sudden the hype moment comes on, and then they trigger check, they go for damage check, and all of a sudden there's heals on the board, and everyone just goes like, oh, and it's still alive, and the match goes on. All that is very nice, the highs, the lows. Also, the one thing that I learned as I was staffing is during deck checks, I came to enjoy them. There was one event, I believe it was Bushiroad Championship Series 2019 Toronto. I just wanted, Buddy Fight was still on. Like, it was still going, and I believe that was the very last event here in Toronto for Buddy Fight. I had the opportunity to deck check. I don't recall what his name was, but apparently he was a 5-time world champion for Buddy Fight. So he hands me the deck, and he's like, hey, better make sure you don't lose a card, because this deck costs 2.5k, and I'm like, oh. I don't recall what the deck was, but because I don't play Buddy Fight, but I believe it has something to do with Lost World or something, where he has like 2 decks, where at some point, if you trigger a card of some sort, you switch decks mid-game. And it's like, that's crazy.
That's wild. I never heard of any game doing that, actually. That's crazy.
Another thing is that being there from the start of the event up to the end of the event, where you can see all the players playing, you can see who's winning, who's losing. It feels like you're having the same journey as them while you're not participating. You get to experience from a different set of eyes. It feels like you have a journey with all the players from start to finish. I wish I could also go to Japan and to do that, but unfortunately, finance is something that's keeping a lot of people from going to places. And also, as an aside joke, only judges, the only people that are bad at the game, I just want judge. Go to the Discord on the judge cord.
I guess that's why I can't join the judge program. I'm too good at the game. I'm kidding. But yeah, like, there's something about it, about the camaraderie you have with both players when you're participating in a tournament and for lack of better phrasing, officiating a tournament. I actually casted my first tournament last weekend as of recording for this date. And and I didn't expect it to, like, be as fun. Like, I'm like, oh, I mean, I'm supporting my friends and because they were picked to be, because to give context for the tournament, the video is now available on YouTube if you watch. It's like in the description. This format was a 6v6 team tournament where and everyone was a nation representative. So there was Keter representative, Dark States representative, so on and so forth. And then we spun a wheel, used a wheel decider to figure the matchups for the pairings. So the idea was we didn't want, like, I guess you could say King of the Nations, so it wasn't like Keter versus Keter. So it was completely random, but that aged like milk because the first pairing was a Rezael mirror match. But everyone played different decks, and it was just like, I had a stream up on a second monitor so that people could watch the match, like, from the top-down view if they didn't want to stand near the table. It was just like cheering left, right, and center. Like, you could hear the mic kind of like noise gate, like, cut all the people's voices because people would just pop off. That made me, like, for lack of better phrasing and not to get too dramatic with it, I kind of fell in love with it. Like, I'm like, yo, I could go to these events and do this? That's sick. And, like, that was part of the thing that inspired me to try to, like, make different kinds of content that is normally covered in Vanguard, such as the interviews, like we're doing now, with both top cut players and other officials. I tried to get the TO, but he's like, I can't do that, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh well. And like, I'm just like, it just gives it a new perspective, and it's fresh, and that's what's making me, like, drive my, like, into it. Like, it's just fresh, no one's doing it, and just, like, see this new side.
You also get the opportunities from time to time to take a look at the player's perspective, because, like, you can stand and move around, and unlike the other players, you can kind of see, oh, this guy has enough guard for that, or oh, he's not gonna live the next turn, right? Because the player can't see what the other player has in his hand. Us as a judge, we have the opportunity to watch it from both sides of the table. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah, this is possibly going to be the most clickbait section of the interview. What is your spiciest Cardfight Vanguard hot take?
Okay, so I don't think it's that spicy. I don't know, but I've had my dabble in Bermuda Triangle. Take shots. I play toxic decks, and I play Bermuda Triangle. I play Mega Colony, Bermuda Triangle. Take a pick. But yeah, I think it is about time, if they want, they can run LEG guard. The power level of the crest is kind of getting ridiculous at this point, and I think they don't have to bring it back to 4. They can bring it to 1. But my main point for it is that I'm tired of putting Sienna deck pieces into the deck that is not a Sienna deck in premium. So they can really put Citron to 1 just so that you don't always have, like, the hetero round effects, bouncing rear guards and all that. I just want decoration to be a bit more flexible compared to, oh, I need to put 4 pieces that can bounce cards just because the meta calls for it for rare cards.
Thank you so much for that hot take. And because like we've had a wide variety of different like views on this question. Like some people said just delete Grand Blue, and someone said, you know, ban the crests in premium. And we were talking about it at my locals today, and we feel like, and let's hear your opinion on this. We feel like it would be fair to choice restrict to choice makers and the history strides. To choice
The history strides. Yeah, I think because the history stride also flips, if I recall correctly, right?
it does, correct.
So the instant plus 5k right on the spot. Also, it's pretty oppressive on Excel decks because, well, you get 2 extra markers, rear guard circles. You get 2 draws as well if you go XL2. And I think they could probably restrict those 2. I haven't played premium in a long while. I am trying to get back to it with a different clan this time. Keeping it a secret for if my friends see it. But there definitely is a lot of things that needs to be seen in premium to rebalance the format. Again, it's also an explored format, so I think people should give it a chance. I just wish Bushiroad supported reprints for the old strides, like 2022 premium collection. The cards there are cards that I'm looking for, and unfortunately I can only get them by opening up a box, and I don't really want to invest into a box yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's all I have. So I want to say once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to do this. And if you have anything you want to plug, feel free. Now's your time. If you have any socials, if you have anything you just want to have people keep up with you on, now's your time.
I don't really have any social media and stuff, but I do wish everyone who's attending Worlds, wish you guys luck, and also I'll see you guys in Bushiroad Summerfest 2025.
Let's go, and hopefully, might cut this part out of the video. I did submit inquiries with some of the venues, so maybe a certain somebody will start casting some of these summer festivals so that there's an actual live stream of these events. Yep. All right. So thank you so much. And what do you call it? If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time.
Peace. It's